that stuff.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. We are...
How do you know anybody's there?
Well, that's what we're going to be waiting for. We're going to wait just a minute, make sure that everybody can get into the room.
Get the outline.
And get the outline. Oh, yeah, thank you for reminding me. I'll get the outline up. And let's see, it's always good to get the outline up. Okay, the outline is up and available for everybody. There we go. Now we've got people starting to get on. We've got a lot of familiar faces. We've got a lot of new friends joining us tonight. I think we're going to have a really exciting Wednesdays with Wade. I'm really excited about this one.
This one's going to be really fun, I hope.
We've been doing a lot of different studying, and not just stock market stuff, but a lot of different things. And that's what we like to focus on with these Wednesdays with Wade, are things of business nature. It's not strictly stock market, but anything and everything to do with business, right?
Yep.
So we will be exploring the gamut tonight. And I think we've got a handful of more people coming on. It looks like everybody's getting on. That's good. It's a beautiful day outside. The Mariners won today. It's hard to be bad on such a beautiful day.
Yeah, I know.
All right, and reminder, the outline is up for everybody. Please make sure you either follow along on the computer or you print it out and follow along that way, because we are going to get into it tonight. And I think we're just about ready with that. I'm going to turn it over to you, Wade.
Well, hello, everyone. I got to try to remember to speak into not the camera. Yeah, the camera. Because I always look down at my face because there's movement down here. All right, so I'll try to be better. So when you watch it, I'll be looking out at you. Okay, tonight, the title for tonight's event is Interesting Business Insights. All right, so I'm going to tell you very quickly. I don't want to this is not about me. This is about the things I've learned, and hopefully I can pass them on to you, right? So that you have these available. If you're going to be in business, these ideas will work for you. And I'm telling you guys, I have learned some pretty powerful ideas. So let me just give you the gist of one thing that I did. And this one thing that I did, I remember my daughter was visiting me and she said, "Dad, you can write another stock market book, but you taking a company doing $500 million in sales, that's the story. That's the story you should be telling." So I sat there for the next 6 months and I wrote a book explaining it all. It's called The Buck Starts Here. I think, by the way, it's the best business book in the world, right? You be the judge, right? But and we're going to have it on sale a little bit later tonight. But it's called The Buck Starts Here. Let me tell you the subtitle to that book. My wife and I in Covington, Washington at Key Bank went in and put in $3,000 into an account to open up a new business. $1,000 of that had to go to rent for this new space we were renting. $1,000 went into some radio advertising. And then we were hoping against hope that by the time payroll came around, we had money in to pay the bills. We took the $3,000 and over the next 9 years, we did just over $500 million in sales. Now, for years and years, I kept that secret. I didn't really want people to know my secret because there was a lot of competitors out there, people that were stealing my ideas or ripping everything off, right? So I just kind of kept it secret. But when my daughter told me that, I said, you're right, Leslie. I want to share, what I did to build this business. Again, $3,000 to $500 million in sales over the next 9 years. And is that a story worthy to be told? Well, yes, it is in and of itself. And you can get the down and dirty details of that whole process in the book called The Buck Starts Here. But along the way, I just learned some really, really powerful lessons. One lesson I learned is this: I believe in the law of serendipity. Now, those of you that have downloaded the outline and printed it out, or you're doing it online and you're clicking on the boxes to print out things, right? I hope that there's enough space there. I think that there is for you to write in some of these things and things that are important to you, things that are meaningful and that you may want to use at a later date, right? But this whole process was so amazing. And I learned all of these things mostly by serendipity. Now, what is serendipity? Serendipity is described as those things, those wonderful, joyous things that you learn on the way to doing something else or going somewhere else. You walk into a library, you're looking for a book, one falls off the shelf, hits you in the lap, opens up, and that's exactly what you needed in your life at that point in time, right? That's serendipity, right? Serendipity is that wonderful, joyous discovery on the way to something else. A guy has to stay after work to finish a project. He meets a new secretary. They fall in love and get married a year later. That is serendipity, right? So I believe, everyone, that we can live a life of serendipity, a life guided by serendipity. You might want to call it prayer or the spiritual side of life, that's fine. But it's a life where really good things can be expected and really good things happen, right? Maybe you coming into my life, me coming into your life is serendipity at its best. Because if you think about it, everything we've done in the past is coming down to right now, right? Right now, right here, a decision you made 23 years ago is helping you get to where you are and I am right now, right? And this is the conscientious choice on my part to share some of these ideas. And I hope I can make these powerful to you. So on your outline, if you'll go to point number one, these are the topics. And by the way, I just want to cover one more thing. Before I get into point number one in this whole thing, maybe in that little box right there in the side margin, you can write in this. I have studied the wealth accumulation process, building up income, having assets increase in value. I've studied all the way from ancient biblical times and Abraham and Isaac walking through the plains. I've studied all kinds of things, the parable of the talents and all that kind of stuff. And it is just most amazing to me. And what I've discovered in my own way is that there is no credible reason or anything that supports a lack or a scarcity. We live a life of abundance. There is a free lunch. This earth is a free lunch. God gives us free lunches all the time. And I don't know if we appreciate them. But there is plenty to back up living a life of abundance. And if your life is lacking a little bit, maybe a few ideas I have tonight will help you, but you need to help yourself. You need to say, success comes from me, not to me. And I'm going to live a life of abundance. I'm going to treat other people abundantly. I am going to face business, investment decisions from that viewpoint. The law of abundance, the law of attraction, the law of making things happen, making good things happen. All right, so now with that in mind, let's move on to the outline. The first thing we have, number one, is what I call the 3 E's. I've got 3 words for you to write down. And by the way, I wish every congressman out there would buy this in relationship to our government. The 3 E's, as I have them here, are we need to concentrate on these 3 things. What is essential? What is efficient? And what is effective? Those 3 things are pretty amazing when you think about it. Don't you wish, by the way, government would follow this? What is essential? And I'll say by that, meaning what is constitutional? What is necessary to be done, for example, by the federal government? Now, can whatever has to be done, living that life of abundance, if you will, can it be done efficiently, meaning at a cost savings, at a good price? And can it be done effectively, which means does it work, right? So just keep those 3 things in mind. Almost every day you're going to be faced with these 3 things. Is this new idea that my salesman wants me to do, is it essential? You might say, well, yeah, it is. We really need to increase our sales over there in that area or whatever. And his ideas are really essential. Well, can we do it efficiently? And is there measuring stick so we can measure if we're doing it effectively? If you'll get these 3 things into your brain and kind of face life situations and problems with that, I think that it will really help you avoid a lot of problems and even make more money. as crass as that sounds. All right. Okay. Point number 2. I remember telling my daughters, I have 4 daughters and 1 son. And they would come to me and say, Dad, I want to sell Avon. Or Dad, I want to be in a horse training business. Dad, I want to whatever, right? Work at a whatever. Whatever they would come to me and say that they wanted to do. I think maybe because of me, they're a little bit entrepreneurial minded. And, they look at having their own business and, doing things from that way. I'm 67 right now. Since I was 23 years old and in the Air Force as a Chinese linguist, I have not had a paycheck from anybody. It just makes me sick to think I'm going to wait for some Friday to get a paycheck. That's just not my life. I am an entrepreneur. I am a businessman. I like business. I like big business. I like small business. I like taking that $3,000 and doing $500 million in sales. I like it. I like all the people we were able to help. We had 650 employees. My payroll every 2 weeks was $920,000. Now, if you got a payroll of $5,000 or $10,000 a month, I commend you for that. But look at what I had. It was huge. And by the way, I wouldn't trade that time in my life for anything. But so that led me down the road of a lot of things that I want to talk about. And I'm going to share one of those with you tonight and hopefully get some of your feedback in the form of an email. I was talking today to a person who really wants to get in the real estate seminar business. All right. Now, let me tell you the advice I give to my daughter, my daughters, because I don't know if this person's going to follow that advice quite yet. Somebody wants to open up another business, like an Avon business, right? I say, well, why don't you go find an Avon lady, that's already doing it, and go knock on some doors with her. Go pass out some flyers. Go come up with some new customers. What? Why would I do that and make her money? Because making money is not as easy as it seems. Making money comes down to one thing of all the things that you have to think about, and it is marketing. Marketing. I don't care what it is you're going to market. I have a friend who went into the carpet cleaning business. Well, before he went and spent a lot of money, I was saying, go work for someone else. Go clean some carpets and go learn how to drive some business in that direction, right? Learn the marketing. Marketing is key, by the way. All the other stuff, business setup and structuring and all the legal things you have to do and sign, they're all important. They're all important. But none of it works unless you figure out how to get money in, unless you figure out how to attract customers, right? And what you're going to do with those customers, how you're going to help them, how you're going to service them. Marketing, marketing, marketing. Now, I've got a graph right there. It says business spectrum. I know it's kind of small, the printing right there, but I want you to look closely at this, okay? I've got right here in the very center the word marketing. To the left of this is all the things: site selection, establishing the type of business, setting up a corporation, finding a location, discovering what you're going to really market, coming up with your product, copywriting your product or trademarking your product, right? And then after you get the business open, that's to the right. All the things you have to do to keep your business going: payroll, hiring and firing, all the variety of things that you have to do to keep your business running and successful. Right there in the middle is the word marketing. And if you don't have that marketing down, it's going to be tough to keep the business going. So I suggest, that's why I put it in bold letters, that you concentrate on marketing, right? You think about marketing. And if you have an idea for a business, go find a similar business and see if you can market something for them, right? If you have a product, well, go on eBay and see if you can sell your product. If you have a book and you think that it's going to be really easy to sell an ebook, well, believe me, it's not that easy, right? I've got a book that Buck Starts Here. I think it should have sold 1 million copies by now. We're not even close to that, right? Because this new social media has its own problems and its own solutions. And this old curmudgeon is just having a little hard time figuring some of those things out. But it comes down to marketing. If you get good at marketing, I'll give you an example. there was all this talk about this young woman that sold 400,000 books at 99 cents a book. Wow, that's really cool. 400,000 books, 99 cents. That's a lot of money. And everybody's touting her. Here's, let us show you how to do this kind of marketing. And by the way, the only people I see making money, a lot of money on the internet, is people that are teaching other people how to make money on the internet. Right? Give us $495 and we'll teach you all about search engine optimization. I see it everywhere. Then, by the way, the truth came out, did some more research. This girl, a young woman, father gave her $2 million to market the book. So they spent $2 million to market 400,000 copies of a 99-cent book. The trade-offs are, well, unless they got something on the back end, the trade-offs are horrendous. So back up to, was it or is it essential? Does that girl need to have a best-selling book, right? Can it be done efficiently, cost-wise, and can it be done effectively? All right, so let's come back down to you. You and everything you do, what are you going to market? For example, you're on a site right now, Wealth Information Network, Win Inc., that has an affiliate program. We've got a few affiliates that are making money, but hardly anybody, because I don't think most people are willing to pay the price. There's so many people focused on the prize that they're not willing to pay the price. And there is a price to be paid. But most people don't even know that there's a price that has to be paid. All right, so let's move on. There was a book many years ago that I read that really shook me up. I don't even think you can find it anymore unless you can find one of those old book scouts that will help you find it. It was called Management of the Absurd. I'm going to tell you a couple of things I learned out of that book. So, you don't have to spend a lot of time, because two of the most important things I'm going to share with you right now. One of them was this. We as managers of a business are constantly getting the wrong information. We have people feeding us the wrong information. We got people, trying to tell us that, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. I'll give you an example. We were doing a lot of radio recorded infomercials, 28 minutes and 30 seconds and 25-minute, half-hour recorded radio infomercials. We were running between 90 and 130 of those a day, selling a $22 product, right? Sold 860,000 of those. Right? It's a lot of money. And then those things sold. Okay, so this is what I want you to write in there. Okay, we then sold to those 860,000 people that bought those, and a bunch of other people that got free CDs and things, or free cassettes. We sold 80,000 people. 80,000 people. Our Wall Street workshop, and it was $3,695. And then we took it up to $4,295. We sold most of them at this price right here. Well, you take 80,000 times 4,000, and that's $320 million. Remember, I told you we did $500 million in sales, $500 million in sales. The other $180 million came from selling the Nevada Corporation setup. We were selling a startup kit, a travel kit for starting up a travel agency for $500. We sold 26,000 of those. So there's your your $500 million. But it all started back here with this kit. Then I had all these so-called professionals come into my life. Some of my management wanted to hire some people that were really professional, and they came in and they gave us marketing presentations and all kinds of stuff. I says, no. If we want more money, and we're running 20 radio shows a day, we just need to take it to 40, because it'll overwhelm our staff. We'll get so many phone calls. Well, we built up with 120 salespeople, 90 phone lines. We built it up where we were taking in 5,000 to 6,000 phone calls a day. And by the way, some of those during that time, we were doing $6 million to $10 million a month in sales. Right now, there's a lot more to that. And I just really exposed everything I did in that book called The Buck Starts Here, right? One more thing. I told you there was two things. One more thing. The accounting staff was always coming in and trying to show me how, we spent money on seminars. We need to do this. We need to do this. And I would say, what are you saying? What are you saying? By the way, I have a hard time letting the accounting staff run the sales department run the marketing, because they'll beat it to death. I'll give you one quick example, then I'll get back to the main point. We would do cash bonuses. We would have 60, 70, 80 of our salespeople meet every lunchtime, and we had 2 different shifts, 2 different lunchtimes. And that would accommodate the 120 people. I really believe in training. And we would come up and say, wow, we need a whole bunch. Our seminar that's going on in New Orleans is really lacking. It doesn't have very many people. So we come and say, if you got any of your clients, call them all in New Orleans, and we're going to make it $1,000 off the $4,000 seminar if they come next week. And we'll give an extra 50 or 100 or $200 cash. And virtually the next day or within 2 or 3 days, I would walk into sales. I'd have the accounting department go over to the bank and get $18,000 in cash. And I'd walk into these 60 and plus 60 more people, and I'd hand out $200. You get $600. You get $400. And I'd hand them 4 $100 bills. And they're clapping and cheering for each other. They're so excited, right? Well, guess what? That worked for several months. And then I went on vacation for 2 weeks. The accounting staff behind my back decided that it wasn't very efficient to do it this way. They don't like to go over to the bank before the sales meeting and get $18,000 or $13,000. So they determined without me that they were going to just put it into the person's, the salesperson's next paycheck. Okay, so if a person was making $3,000 every 2 weeks, they were now going to make $3,400. They're going to put it into the paycheck. Where's the excitement in that? And I got back into town, and our sales had gone down almost half with all the things that we were doing to load up our seminar rooms. And I looked at the sales, the accounting, and I said, what did you do? They said, well, we're giving it in their paycheck now. So you're not doing the cash, the $200, the $100, you're not doing that? No, that was just too cumbersome to do it that way. And I said, tomorrow we're back to cash. I can't believe you guys would stop something that was so cool and worked so well, because one of the staff, which I'm paying, or the company's paying for, to drive over to the bank and pick up $12,000 cash so we can hand it out to people. See what I'm saying? Just don't let the accounting department run your company, right? It's just the beginning of the end. And we'll talk about the road to oblivion here pretty soon. All right, let's get back to the main point I was trying to make about the absurd. They would always come and tell me these different things that we needed to know that were accounting. They wanted me to read all these accounting books and learn how to do all this accounting. And I can't remember some of the names they had for it, right? And I read it, but it was so boring and so wasted. It was management of the absurd. They were trying to get me to do their absurd things. I had people, I was making thousands of dollars a day was my royalties and what I was making. And I was listening to people making $10, $15, $20 an hour. Well, tell me how rich you're going to be when you do that. You got to weigh out to whom you are listening, right? Listen to people that are making really good money. Matter of fact, I want to listen to people where I'm the weakest link. I want people to really understand the market and really get it. I'll give you the example. We're going to talk about the seminar business in just a minute. I would measure things. In the seminar business, you measure everything by the per head. We go into Dallas and we do a whole bunch of advertising. Right? We want people to call in for a free CD, and then we try to convert them into a seminar. We would sell our $22 cab driver special. That's what I told you about a few minutes ago, right? And then we would give them a ticket in there for that. And we'd call them back and say, hey, we're doing a seminar there next week, and you've got a ticket for it, right? So if we wanted more sales, we just had to increase that. I used to sit and watch the phone, right? When we first got going, I had 24 lines in, 24 lines. I would just watch my phone. Right? And we would be doing a radio show in Atlanta. And we spent, say, $400 to buy the 30 minutes or $600 to buy the 30 minutes. And I just watched the line. Okay, the show's running about 8 minutes into the show, 3 o'clock our time. I give out the 800 number. Boom, all of a sudden, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines, 6, 7, 8. And I said, okay, well, this cost us $400 and we've already taken in, so I had a woman there. Her name was Pam, and she would go around and count up all the sales. And by the way, within a few minutes, she'd come back and say, we've had $900 in sales. Well, $400 just took in $900, and that was people paying to be on our mailing list. They were giving us money to run the advertising to be on our mailing list. And we would look and say, okay, well, call the advertising company, go buy 3 more half-hour blocks of that time. Well, they call back and say, no, they want $600 for a couple of those. Get it. And we would run our radio show because the lights lit up, right? I didn't need some big computer software program that's going to tell me that this you can do that. That's going to work or not. Look at the lines. Go out and look at your salespeople and see what they're doing on the phone, right? Manage your business by watching over it. You got other people that will try to teach you and show you all these absurd things that don't mean anything in terms of, making it better, making a lot more money. The per head. How much does it cost per head to get a $22 sale? How much does it cost per head to get somebody into a seminar room? And while they're there, and by the way, then we could measure whether this newspaper ad worked or this radio ad worked. And then when they're there, let's say 200 people showed up, what now works? Right? Well, we're going to measure their sales per head, right? We say, wow, we didn't get very many phone calls from that little radio station over there, but man, those people spent a lot of money. See what I'm saying? I love monitoring things. You get what you inspect. I didn't say expect like everybody else says. You get what you inspect. Inspect, improve, modify, grow, and do more of what works. It really is that simple. Now, I had one other thought race through my brain. I hope it comes back under management of the absurd. If I think about it, we'll come back to that. Let's move on. All right. In the next page, item number 4 this is just going to be a real simple discussion. I learned this many years ago. Excessive profits breed ruinous competition. You may think that you have a really, really hot product, and maybe you do. Right? Can you put yourself back around 1902, 1905 on the streets of New York, and they come out with this new thing called ice cream. And you go out, your boss says, we don't know if it's going to sell. We don't know if people want it, but take your cart over to 5th and Broadway and sit on the corner there and sell this ice cream cone for 5 cents. And within minutes of getting there, there was a line clear down the street around the block, everybody trying to buy an ice cream cone. Tell me what that corner is going to look like next week. There'll be tons of carts, tons of people selling ice cream. Excessive profits breed ruinous competition. Are you in a business where you're going to make so much money that it's easy for people to get into? Okay. I kind of swore those off because some of my biggest competitors in my seminar business was my previous speakers, were a few students, and they went into competition with me. One reason was I made it look easy, right? And they all thought, well, we can be in the seminar business. And by the way, some of those people are still in the seminar business. Most of them aren't doing very well, but I can almost trace the lineage of a lot of people, or public speakers especially, back to see where they learned what they learned. And basically they learned it helping me build the business, out speaking for us and all that. And I'll cover that again here in just a minute. All right. Let me tell you one of the most powerful lessons I've ever learned is that people will be people. Now I have there, I want you to write these things down. I had Rachel put in a picture of a herd of horses. She did some running. She likes action. She likes movement. All right. People will act like people, like horses. Okay. Horses, okay, are a herd animal. Number one, they want to herd. Horses have a need to procreate, to have babies. Procreate, to have babies, to perpetuate the lineage, and they have a need for protection. And they're really into that, protecting their babies, protecting themselves. All right. I've got Arabian horses. You can look at how they act and what they do, and it all fits into those 3 things. Now tell me, how different is this than our human characteristics, than our human needs? Do we have a need to be around other people? Let me give you an example. Here in Seattle, back in the late 70s and 80s, everybody's saying all real estate's going to go away. All these big, huge office buildings are going to be empty. And by the way, they went down. $100 million buildings are selling for $80 million. They went down because everybody's saying everybody's going to operate from home. Everybody's going to take their computers home and do it from home. All these big companies that have 800 employees, 750 of those are going to operate out of their houses. And I sat back and I said, yeah, for about 3 weeks, for about 3 months. People have a need to be around other people. Call it the water cooler mentality, call it the herd mentality, and real estate has done just fine. Bet on people. If you're doing stock market investing or running a business, bet on people being people. What will they do? And if you're going to get into business, consider these. What will you do? For example, let me talk about the internet. I see the internet as this huge source where we can have this herd mentality. I know that sounds weird, but there are now hundreds, thousands of people every day getting on to some group exercise or jazzercise class at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they're up kicking their legs and doing all these things. Most of them are 70, 80 years old, and they get to know each other. They're buddies with each other. They're friends, right? They're herding in a totally different way. To me, the internet and even cell phones has been a godsend to getting people caring about each other, loving each other, taking care of each other. It's wonderful. And it gives all of us, cell phones. How many times a day, if you really walk by people, with their cell phone up to their ear, how many times a day do you hear, I love you, see you later, I love you? My goodness, that is amazing, right? So anyway, these are the 3 things. What are you going to do? Some of the biggest companies right now are selling home protection things, right? And well, let me just get crass. Sex will always be with us, right? And it'll always be a popular topic. All right, let's move on. Every company, number 6, is somewhere along the road to oblivion. The Dow 30 companies, when the Dow came into existence in the early 1900s, of those 30 companies that were in the original Dow Jones Industrial Average, do you know how many are still there? 1.5 of them. They've merged, gone out of business, been bought out, right? A couple of the ideas are still there. This is back when the horse and buggy was popular. Then we moved on to cars. And now there's General Motors is still on there, but there's a lot of companies that are not on there anymore. All right. So where are you with your business? How are you going to keep it fresh and exciting? That's something for you to really think about. Right. Now, let me give you an example. You know that we at Wealth Information Network, our primary MO, our primary reason for existence is to help people make money in the stock market. We think we have products and services that nobody has. All right, but let me tell you, I cut my teeth in the real estate seminar business, out selling a $295 set of cassettes and later CDs and workbooks and all that. A couple books I'd throw in there, maybe a little consulting service, where they could call in and ask questions. And that's where I cut my teeth. I did hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars of sales over 6-7 years. We had conventions that I spoke at, real estate conventions, the old RAND groups, the acre groups, the wealth builders, the real estate expos. I was speaking at a lot of them, and I was making really good money because I had good product, my real estate money machine product. By the way, in my books, it'll be the first books you'll ever read where you see the word flipping. Now it's used everywhere. But, I don't know if I invented it, but I used it. I don't know anybody else that had used it before me. And I'm just trying to tell you that my style of real estate has stood the test of time. All right. So with my style of real estate and a few other people that show people how to buy real estate, right, I want to ask you something with all of you on the phone right now. You can write me at Wade at wininc.biz. Okay, here's what I would like to know. Have you ever thought about being in the seminar business? Would you like to come along with us? I'm not saying we're going to do it, but we're sure looking at it. We're talking to 2 speakers right now that have product. They want to develop more product. I love helping people develop home study courses, CDs, DVDs, get them in the studio, interview them if they've got good, solid, high quality information. All right. But I see that there are 4 potential positions. I'm going to have to write over my own writing right here. 1 is to learn how to be in the seminar business as a promoter. 2 is to learn how to be in the seminar business as a sales, I'm going to say speaker, as a speaker. Now you got 2 choices there. 1 is you could have your own product, or 2, you could do somebody else's product. Somebody. Okay. So you could be a promoter, you could be a speaker, right? Three, three is you could be the road crew, all the way from checking people in to helping with sales in the back of the room, right? There are after speakers, there's all kinds of things, and I would love to share this with you. But right now, I just really want to know if there's an interest. And you, my beloved students, are right there. I want to know what you think, if you would like to join in the seminar business. Okay. And if you do, I'd like you to write me a letter, wade@wininc.biz, and tell me where you would like to fit. If you don't know, and you just want to learn more, we're thinking about doing some maybe Saturday morning or maybe even some of these Wednesday nights and start teaching people how to be in the seminar business, right? My speakers are making about $200,000 or $300,000 a year. One guy, Steve, we paid him $920,000 one year. Public speaking, if it's done right, is literally the highest paid occupation in America. Okay. It is a great place to be, to get in front of an audience for an hour and a half or two, sell some books, sell some CDs or videos or whatever, right? It's a great business. Today, people are going on and they're doing all these consulting services and a lot of things that I really don't agree with, but still they're out there and they're making more money at it than I am. So who the heck am I to talk? We got a lot of learning to do. If you're interested, contact me, right? And tell me how you would like to get involved. Okay, changing topics now. Number 7, the two Q keys to success. When you're on your deathbed and you look back at your life and you say, wow, I really had a quality life. My life was awesome. It was really quality. Or will you look back and say, man, I blew it. I didn't do what I really needed to do with my life. There's so much more I could have done, so much more I could have become, so many more people I could have helped, so much more growth I could have achieved. What's it going to be? Well, let me give you a suggestion to help you along the way. If you say, that was the best life ever, it was awesome, that will be based on 2 things. A will be the quality of your relationships, the quality of the people that you associate with. And you'll look back and you'll say, man, those people meant so much to me. That could be your family. I hope one of those is God. And I hope you never do anything to jeopardize your relationship with him. But the quality of the people, that is so important. To whom are you listening? Where are you going for advice? Who do you allow into your life to influence you? And B will be the quality of the questions that you ask. And that translates, by the way, the quality of the question equals the quality of the decisions you make. Are you asking quality questions? Are you learning how to ask better questions? How to seek out better answers? So when it comes back to, is this essential? Is this efficient? Is this effective? That you know how to ask the right kind of questions to get really good answers for yourself. All right, let's move on. Number 8. Number 8, and I've covered my books, but it's really this. To whom are you listening? Where are you going for advice, right? I happen to share with some people this week some of my ideas about the seminar business. I literally gave away millions of dollars of ideas. If I were to charge $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 for an event to show people how to get in there and make it. By the way, I remember a long time ago I did a seminar on how to do seminars, and Ron LeGrand out of Jacksonville, who's done millions of dollars in seminars, excuse me, he was in that event. I love the educational field. I love getting people excited with knowledge. And what I want to do is to be there for a lot of people. Again, back to the seminar business or whatever. Oh, did I mess up? Did I move it?
Nope, you're good. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
There we go.
So to whom are you listening? Who do you allow into your life to influence you, right? And it will be based on that a lot of your decisions are made and the quality of your life will grow or decline. All right, number 9. Don't do anything that causes you to quit. Don't go to Las Vegas and bet it all on red, right? Maintain some money. Man. Got a tickle. Got a tickle in my throat. Sorry. Okay. So I don't want to belabor all these points, but stay in business. Keep your powder dry. I know that's cliche. Most people don't even know what it means, right? Don't do anything that causes you to quit, right? Go out and do something and make some money and replace the investment that you had. Make sure that you work towards getting assets, whatever that is. By the way, that could be a business. That could be your own little man. Sorry, everybody. That could be your own little educational business, seminar business. That could be an ice cream parlor, right? But you need to get assets producing income. That's why we teach writing covered calls and spend so much time with that. We want to get assets. Let's say you're involved in a network marketing company and you're marketing cheese or whatever, right? Do you realize that, you can look at your downline and all that? Do you know that that spot right there that you occupy is an asset? You can bequeath it to someone. It's illegal if you have it set up as a person, that's fine, or as a corporation or a limited partnership. That little asset right there could grow and your family could run it for you for years, right? So that's what we try to teach in all that we do, is how to build up a different grouping of assets that will produce the income that you need to live on, right? And that is the key, right? Let me give you one more thing to think about. If you are in business, right, and you do decide to quit, there are three things that you're going to do. One is you will sell the business. Two, you won't sell it. You'll just continue to run it, continue to manage your business. And three is you'll have your son or your daughter take over. Your family will get involved. If you know which one of these three is your exit strategy, will you act differently towards the business? Will you make sure that the books are done more accurately or less accurately if you know people are going to take over your business or if you're going to sell your business? If you think about this, and this is back to my stock market seminar, don't ever go in the entrance until you know the exit, right? Never go in an entrance until you know what is your exit strategy with your business, even the business you have right now. Well, oh, by the way, the other one is just quit, right? You just quit, just walk away, close the doors and quit, right? Oh, that's, by the way, what most people do. They just walk away from their businesses. They could be 60, 70, 80 years old. None of the kids are interested, and they just close the doors and walk away. They may have a really valuable business that could be valuable to other people, but they haven't marketed the business. They've been marketing backyard furniture, whatever their business is, right? So what do you want to get out of your business? How do you want to either stay in business or sell your business and do something with it? So let's go back to the beginning. An asset is your business, whatever you're about, right? Let me give you an example. I don't know, and I'm going to combine 9 and 10, this passion. Okay, let me just tell you briefly something. And I don't know if you can see this. Brandon, can you help me write this? I want you to go to a website. Is it Win Network? Do you see that?
Oh,
Network dot.
Yep.
Prove it. PRUVIT. Prove it dot. What is it?
Prove it now.
Prove it. Is it one word? Prove it now.
Yep. NOW.com.
Yep. Okay. I don't know if you've been watching these, and you could probably go back 3 or 4 weeks and look at my face and look at my body and tell that I'm quite a bit different. In the last 21 days, I have lost 19 and a half pounds. I'm dropping almost a pound a day, half a pound to a pound every day. Every day I wake up and I feel my body shrinking. And it really comes down to one thing. It is a product, right? This Prove It product. It's called keto, and this is all about ketones, the keto OS for operating system, right? It's a packet that you mix with water. You take 1 a day or 2 a day. I talked to a doctor yesterday, and he's taking 3 a day, right? There are 2 kinds of energy that your body needs, 2 kinds of fuel. One is glucose, the other is ketones. Your body operates so much better in a natural state to have ketones, to get your body into a state of ketosis, which means that you are burning fat, right? So that you lose weight, but that's not the real promise, but you feel better. Now I feel better. I've had a weird couple years being retired. What do I do with retirement? I tell you what, in the last 3 weeks, I am feeling so much better. I'm walking with a happier step. I'm doing all kinds of things right now. I feel really good, right? And it comes down to this keto/OS. So what I'd like you to do right now is to go to this website right there, winnetwork.pruvit, PRUVIT now.com. Okay, and I want you to watch a 4-minute video. And you'll find out, by the way, what I am so passionate about, right? And if you write me at Win Inc., Wade at wininc.biz, or you write Rachel or Brandon, we will send you a booklet that's about 13, 14 pages that will teach you everything you need to know, right? This is an awesome product. Is it inexpensive? No, it's a bit pricey. But man, is the cost benefits worth it? What is it worth to be losing weight and feeling better and feeling really good, right? I'm telling you guys, I have a lot of passion for this. Now, I'm not trying to turn this stock market seminar. It's not a stock market seminar. This is all business tonight. But I'd love to have you look at that and maybe join us part of our team, right? This would be a good way. If you want to get in the seminar business, this would be a good way for you to start doing some webinars of your own and do some presentations. I'd love to have you join. But I want to be all in with people who are all in. So if you're going to do business with me or me with you or with Rachel, we want to get people that are all in, right? And here's the coolest thing about this product. You can prove it yourself. You can take the drink it. Within 15 minutes to 30 minutes or 60 minutes, your body will be moving towards a state of ketosis. Your body will start burning fat. You will literally, whether you change any other parts of your diet or not, and you might want to get a little bit healthier diet. The diet is called a low carb, moderate protein, high fat diet, right? And it's all about therapeutic ketones, right? So that's what I'm very excited about. And I've been doing all my wealth seminars for years. I may change that now and do a lot of health seminars. I'd love to have you check it out. Prove it for yourself. Take the drink, get the little $30 startup kit, take the drink, and within 1 or 2 days, see if you're losing weight. See if you're feeling better, right? Check it out. It is really worth it. Now, I have a lot of passion for that, but what I really have a lot of passion for is the seminar business, is education, is developing product. I want to help, even in writing covered calls and stock splits and all that, I want to help as many people as I possibly can, right? Health and Wealth. By the way, that used to be my corporation. It was Health and Wealth Incorporated in Nevada, right? So your greatest wealth is your health. Let's never forget that. All right. So again, I'm going to sign off right now. If you have any questions, Brandon will stick around for a little bit. And if you want to ask any questions, but it's all right there. So go there, watch the short video, get a hold of us. Well, there's a little booklet on there if you want to read that, or I'm going to send you a copy of that same booklet and watch that and maybe get the $30 packet, the startup kit to get you going. And so you can prove it, judge it, rate it for yourself and see if you would like to be involved with that and sharing that with other people. I'm so excited about it. I want to tell everybody in the world about it. I really do, because it's that good. It's affected me. I've lost 19 and a half pounds. My wife has lost 17 pounds. My son, who's pretty big, he's lost 30, I think 32, but 30 pounds, right? He's over 300 pounds. He's lost 30 in the last, he's been at it about a week longer than me. Wow. He walks in I'm going, whoa, man, where's your weight going? It's just dropping off his body. Okay, that's enough for tonight. You can see my passion. We can go right back to the beginning and make all of this make sense, right? And let me make one last comment before I close it off. I really believe that we could all make more money together than we ever can alone. Now, people say, well, do you make a lot of money with this? Is this one of those MLM or these network marketing companies? Yeah. And you know what? I used to study these companies for days trying to figure out the downline and where to put people. I don't care. I don't care. I know a lot of people that are involved. They're getting paid very well. The company seems to have an educational mindset. The people in the company are teaching and helping other people. If I get paid well, that would be wonderful. But you know what? It's the product. It's the product. I finally have found a product that deserves, is worthy of, and worthwhile for our attention. Okay, so that's it for tonight. I hope some of these things have helped you. If you get a little bit mad at me for teaching you about something else, well, okay, you can click off anytime you want. But we love you. We hope we can do business together. All right, see you later. Bye.